Welcome back. বিরতির পর আবার এডুকেশন আওয়ারে আমরা কথা বলছি আমাদের টপিক জিসিএসসি অ্যাচিভমেন্টস 2021 জিসিএসসি অ্যাচিভমেন্ট নিয়ে কথা আমাদের সাথে চারজন স্টুডেন্ট এবং অ্যানাদার student from Bangladesh joined with us via video link. So we are talking to them about their achievement, about the results, about their grades, and also they're brilliant. They're talking. I asked one controversial question as well. Those parents and students that are watching our program, Education Hour, today, also is a good encouragement. You know, you can encourage your students to watch this sort of program. I know many of you, your children did brilliant results, and would like to see British Bangladesh students are doing better and better, even better in the future. আমরা চাই আরো ভালো করবে। আসুন তাহলে আমরা ফিরে যাচ্ছি আবার। Nandini, welcome back.
Thank you
very much. And Dean, welcome back.
Thank you.
Tivana, welcome back. And Tracy, welcome back. And Duty, you are with us still. Thank you. Duty, are you with us? Yes, you are.
Yes.
Welcome back after the break. Yes. Now, Tracy, we talked about the results, we talked about the schools. Now, about hard work. Now, support, I would like to hear. What kind of support did you have from your parents and from your schools? I know schools you mentioned they did all this, but mainly about the parents and any other support. Sometimes people have support from their siblings or maybe other people within the family. So tell us about.
I think my parents were quite supportive. They weren't very pushy, like they didn't like force me to do any work or anything. They just kind of...
And they don't choose subject for you as well,
No, they didn't do that. They let me like do what I wanted, and they didn't try to force me into doing like, I don't know, engineering or medicine. They're not like that. They were like okay to let me do what I knew what I would do best. And of course, you know, I think for other parents out there, like maybe listen to your children first, and then also speak to their teachers and see, you know, what they do best. Because obviously, when choosing subject, it's not entirely just what you enjoy; it's also what you would be good at, or like what would be quite viable in the future. So for me, my parents like made sure I was doing my work on time, and made sure like I didn't have like overdue work, and also made sure I was taking breaks. Because for me, I know I stayed up really late at night and like didn't get that much sleep just trying to do work or like reading or like doing other things, and that's why they made sure that I like kind of stopped and like took a breather for a bit.
Okay, so they're there for support, isn't it?
Yeah.
Great to hear that, Tracy. Dean, what about yourself? What kind of support did you have? You can tell about schools and from parents or siblings.
I think they first because a lot of year 11 was at home, and a lot of year 10 was at home. I was given, you know, a comfortable, quiet place to work. They were supportive, checking up on my homework or any work that the school gave to me. I think the school were really supportive as well. In the fact that we had essentially a normal school, but it was all at home. We had our lessons at the times that we would have had if we would have been in school, and I made sure I took breaks when I needed to, you know, just for mental health and the fact that we're at home. It does you kind of feel a bit more lazy when you're at home, and so the breaks did help.
So the environment they created, and also you're happy with the environment, the way, you know, you carried on with your study and the support, what you needed.
Yeah.
That's very good to hear. The Tivana, what about yourself? Support from parents? I know both of parents are working parents, isn't it?
Yes. So seeing both my parents work kind of motivated me as well to work as well.
I like the word motivating.
Motivated.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm similar to them too. Like sometimes my parents will tell me to not revise as well. Tell me just watch TV. But and our school teachers are always open to emails, and I didn't really get a quiet environment because my house is very noisy. But I got very used to it, so it was nice.
As long as you're used to. But sometimes you need a quiet room, isn't it? Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. At night time, I'd go to the kitchen, and then I'll have space.
You know which room to choose to go, isn't it?
Yeah, at night time. No one's in the kitchen at bedtime. So
absolutely. I know your parents are busy too, so it's something you have adapted, or you know what you are doing, is it?
I'm adapted because I've got 2 siblings in primary school. They're very noisy. So.
Absolutely. And you have to be the tolerance as well, isn't it? Sometimes when living, you know, in a family, there are other siblings, they're younger. They will not understand the seriousness of the coursework in GCSE or level, isn't it? So you manage that. This is very nice to hear that.
Yeah, I feel like now whenever I'm standing in my room, they ask if I can stay in here because they know I'm studying, and also I tried teaching my siblings as well, but that takes a lot of patience. I didn't keep that up the whole time.
Absolutely. This is a great opportunity for you and experience as well. Nandini, what about yourself? Your support from parents, what kind of support, or from teachers?
I got a lot of support from parents as well, and as Tracy said, my parents didn't force me as well as much with the subjects that I took. They just said that you can take whatever as long as it makes you happy. And from school as well, teachers were very supportive. Like, they were open even after lessons, that if we had any questions for them, we can just go up to them for their emails and everything like that. And in my school as well, my friends were a really good support for me if I needed anything, because we were all going through the same thing. So if we had any questions or just support, someone to, like, I don't know, cry on sometimes, then like they would help me a lot as well, especially my friends.
They know you very well.
Yeah,
Definitely.
and one other thing as well, because I go to a tuition centre as well, so I also got a lot of support from there, from teachers, especially on a one-to-one level that you might have not necessarily gotten in a classroom setting. So
this is very good to hear that. Duty, would like to hear yours. What kind of support did you receive from schools, from parents as well, and at home, or maybe from other cousins or siblings or brothers, whoever you can say?
Well, my parents have always been very involved with my education. I think they've always just supported me and just backed me up in all cases, but they never pressurized me to keep certain grades, and whenever I would do a little less than expected in mock tests or exams, then they would always still encourage me and motivate me and tell me to learn from my mistakes instead of letting my mistakes put me down. And I think it was really important to have such a strong support system at home, to just for my mental health, I think, mainly. And our school was very, very supportive in that too. I think our teachers always believed in us and always gave their 100% effort to make sure our learning was complete and we were prepared fully for the exams. And they made themselves available even after school hours, so we could email them or call them with any questions we had, and they would answer happily.
This is very good to hear that. I mean, obviously parents are happy, you are happy, school is happy too. Thank you very much. Tracy, I know all of you, including Duty as well, you had struggle, isn't it? You had some struggle, you had some difficulties. So I would like very quickly, because we've got a few things to say, we've got about 15 minutes, cover, or less than 15 minutes actually, about 12 minutes, some kind of struggle you had. But later I'm going to expecting you, not now, to give some tips. So something you don't want to mention, don't have to, something you're really serious. Yes, there's a struggle there, and I struggled a lot for this, but I succeeded.
So definitely the very first pandemic, when like the whole world essentially shut down, that was quite hard to get over, with like the start of online learning as well, because I know for me and like lots of other people, but like, so I had to study and like do everything in my bedroom, where usually, of course, I'd like go to school, and then when I come back I do work in my room, and then sleep in my room, and then rest in my room. So it's quite a change from like shifting your idea and your mindset about somewhere being like a resting place to somewhere being a place of work. And as you said, it's quite easy to feel like more lazy or like more tired when you're in your room, when you're expected to be studying. But so it was like quite a struggle at first, because you have to wake up still early, like at your normal school time, and just sit down at a desk for hours, like looking at a screen and like talking to teachers over like a video. So that was quite a struggle at first, especially with the like sudden like load of homework and classwork and independent work that you had to do, because it's really easy to fall behind on online lessons because you don't have that face-to-face interaction. And I'm someone who really likes face-to-face, like talking like with friends or like with teachers. So that was quite like a change, but I'm glad I managed to like get through it. Yeah. Very
good. Dean, what about yourself? Any struggles? Something you don't want to mention, don't have to mention.
For me, it was motivation and sticking to my routine. I mean, when we went into the first lockdown and the second lockdown as well, I think it was really easy to fall into like lazy habits, waking up late, joining a class and not really paying attention. So
something to do on time, isn't it?
Yeah, and so it took some time, but eventually I set routines and started building habits to make sure that I was focusing properly and I guess paying attention in class.
Tivana?
So for me, it's like, you know, waking up in the morning, then getting ready, go to school. It puts you in that mindset to go to school and start working. But for me, it was like wake up and instantly go on the screen. I didn't feel like I was in the mood to work at that point, like still in a sleepy mood. And also, like, for me, I felt like going to school was like a bit of socializing, break time for me. And at home would be doing the work, so then it was hard to like install breaks at home and not just working all day. But I try to make regular eating schedules, so like when I can have a break. Yeah.
Nandini?
Yeah, same as everyone. The pandemic was quite difficult for me, especially at home. It was just mainly the online lessons and the lack of social interaction for me was quite difficult. And there was a period of time around December where they said that exams would be cancelled. And there was a lot of uncertainty with that. And I think it was very difficult to deal with the uncertainty of what was going to happen. Are we going to have exams? Are we going to have tests? Like, what was going to happen? And that lack of motivation the motivation kind of decreased from there.
I know, all of you are very fair to say. Duty would like to hear any struggle did you have to go through and later you succeeded?
I think it would be similar to the others, that online lessons were very hard to adapt to in the beginning. But after some time, we kind of got used to it. But also, there was a lot of uncertainty, like mentioned before, and that made things a lot harder to.
It's good. We had that. Now, I have got a couple of questions to all of you, including Duty via video link, about your aims and aspiration. Very quickly we'll hear that. Future, I know you're going to A-levels or your sixth form you're going to stay. If I start with you, Dean, first, this time.
So for A-levels, I'm doing maths, biology, chemistry and further maths. And
4 subjects.
yeah.
Great.
And
Are you staying in the same place?
no, I'm moving to another sixth form, Brampton Manor.
Brampton Manor. Yes, that school did very well. 55 students going to Oxford or Cambridge this year.
And so from there, I'm doing A-levels there, and I want to do medicine at uni. And follow that, I guess, that career path. Yeah.
Nandini?
Yeah, same. So I want to do biology, chemistry and maths and an EPQ as well, which is like a research qualification into anything you want to do. And I'm also staying at my same sixth form as well. So, yeah.
Very good. Duty, would like to hear your future subjects or aspiration for A-levels or anything you'd like to do in the future.
For A-levels, I've taken maths, physics, chemistry, and biology, and I'm thinking of studying biological sciences or medicine in the future.
This is very good, very good. Tracy?
I'm also taking biology, chemistry, math, and I'm also taking politics. It's my 4th subject, and that's the one I'm going to drop later. And I'm staying at my St. Paul's Girls' School, 6th form.
Sixth form?
Yeah.
They know you very well, isn't it? Is there a benefit to stay at old school?
Yeah, I think it's good to stay. I mean, there's good reasons about like moving to different schools as well, but for me, I think because my teacher's already quite used to me, and like I already know the school building, and I think it'll be an easier transition to stay at my 6th form.
Very good.
Yeah.
Tivana?
I'm taking maths, chemistry, biology and geography. A-levels at LAE, and I'm something in
Which one?
LAE Stratford,
Stratford,
near
yeah.
Westford.
Yes, that's correct.
So I want to do something like biochemistry or something science within the biochemistry field, but I'm not too sure yet. Something science.
This is very good, all of you. I mean, great. Some of you are staying in the college, some of you are going to college, some of you are staying in the same school to do sixth form. Now, I know we talked about, but now if I come to this term, extracurricular tasks, sometimes all of you mentioned that. Do you think it's important to explore extracurricular hobbies and interests, when you are doing academic study? Do you think it's important?
I think it's very important.
Why do you think that?
I think it's a break from, the long lessons that we have, maths, English and science. I think I do a lot of sports as extracurricular activities in football, and today I played basketball, and so I think it's good for physical, mental and social health.
Absolutely. And you explored that as well, one of the subjects. Yes, that's very good. Tivana, what about yourself? Extracurricular tasks?
So I do piano lessons, and like that's why I kind of chose music for GCSE. And I think it's important to have extracurricular because some parents might think it's quite distracting, but it actually gives you a break. And musical instruments, they like teach you motivation and discipline because they're quite hard in themselves as well. So it like taught me motivation to keep studying during the pandemic.
Motivation, I know. I like this one. Duty, did you hear that these two students mentioned about extracurricular tasks? Do you think it's important to explore your extracurricular hobbies and interests during your study, academic study, alongside?
I think it is important. I think there are a lot of skills you can learn from these extracurricular activities, which otherwise, I think, in academic studies you can't exactly acquire. And you can also find other passions or things you enjoy, which ultimately will make you happier and make you enjoy other things as you've said before.
Good. Tracy, I know you do so many things. I know one of the things you do. Go on.
Well, I dance, I sing, and I play harmonium.
Wow.
And so I've been doing that for like a long time, quite a few years now. And I think it is good to have extracurriculars because I think it broadens one's personality because it like opens like new things that you might be interested in, and also I think it's important, like as you guys said, to take a break as well. So I think for me, like my relaxing would be like taking a break from studying and then like practicing dance or music instead. And I think it's always good to try and like find small hobbies for like anyone who's watching, for like something you enjoy. So I don't know, if you enjoy watching like cooking shows on TV, maybe try cooking or baking yourself, or, like try and be inspired by like, I don't know, read a book or maybe try and learn a language as well. That's what I'd say.
Absolutely. Any,
Yeah.
I know you do. I have seen you.
Yeah, so the first thing is that I dance like occasionally as well.
And your mom is a super choreographer.
Yeah, she's really helpful in helping me to like learn how to dance and perform as well. And it also increased my confidence a lot performing on stage, and also other things as well that I think like extracurricular helps a lot with is also social skills. Like for example, I'm part of Girl Guides, which is like the girl version of Scouts. So through that I learned, so through that I've been able to make loads of new friends and people who have like similar interests to me. And at school as well, I'm a prefect, which is like a leadership role that we had throughout year 11. So that through that I could also interact with like younger year groups and see what they needed help with. So yeah, I also play the violin as well, so I do a few lessons with that. I'm still learning, so that's also quite helpful, trying to like learn different skills as well. And recently I've been learning how to crochet, which is like knitting, so
Great.
It's quite nice to help to relax.
Thank you. Very nice to hear that. Finally, we are coming to the end of the program, about 2 to 2.5 minutes. To all of you, in short, you will be giving some tips to the student. Those will be appearing in the exam maybe next year. That in year 10, probably, or in year 9, they start GCSE exam. Some good tips, something you found or you tested out is very effective for you. Tivana, if I start from you.
So for me, I would do like a work and reward kind of system. So like if I work during the week, I can like go out with my friends on the weekend. So then that would like motivate me, and make sure you get good sleep because that does important as well.
Okay.
I think I neglected that during the year, but yeah.
What about Dean? Would you like to give some tips?
I think you should try to build.
Obviously, what Tivana mentioned will take on board, then you can add on few more.
I think trying to build routines that play to your strengths and can not ignore your weaknesses, but mainly play to your strengths. So if you find that you can't really concentrate for a long period of time, instead of doing maybe an hour of revision, do 20 minutes and space it out, so you do maybe 2 or 3 20-minute sessions with breaks in between.
Excellent. Very structured. Tracy?
Similar to that, I did it's a Pomodoro technique where I did a 25-minute cycle of just like pure focused work, and then I get to take a 5-minute break in which I could just like breathe. I mean, there's not much you can do in 5 minutes, but it was good to like kind of change subjects or like revise something else. And something else I'd like to say is like don't spend too much time revising just one subject all the time. I think switching around your subjects, and of course with a routine as well, make sure you like add some spontaneity.
Excellent. Not did it very quickly.
So I would say start early with revising. Always ask for help when it comes to revising, no matter if it's your teachers or friends. And practice questions. Exam questions help a lot with technique.
Excellent. Duty, would you like to give some tips? I know you do similar course in Bangladesh. To the students, those will be appearing in the exam next year.
I would say don't let your questions or confusions pile up. Try to understand concepts as you go along, but also try to avoid burnout and take breaks and do things you like and take care of yourself physically and mentally. That's, I think, very important.
Thank you, Duty. You have joined us all the way from Bangladesh, and we really appreciate and best wishes for the future. And congratulations for brilliant result, and thanks to your parents too. Thank you very much. Goodbye to you. And Nandini, I will say goodbye to you as well.
Thank you.
And when you go home, say thanks to your parents.
Of course.
Dean, thanks to you for coming. Make sure to say thanks to your parents as well when you go home. And Tracy, same thing to you as well when you go home. Say thank you to your parents. And Ivana, I will be talking to all of your parents later on, but make sure you say thank you too. And thank you from ATN Bangla UK and Education Hour. Priya Darshok, we talked to our 5 brilliant students, all the way on from Bangladesh and 4 in the studio. Really, we are so happy to listen to their results, and they're doing really good. And we pray for them. Hopefully, they'll be doing even better in the future. আমরা চাই আপনাদের সন্তানরা আরো ভালো করবে। আমাদের একটা ছোট্ট বিরতি যেতে হবে। বিরতির পর আমরা কথা বলবো এই চারজন স্টুডেন্টদের বাবা বা মাদের সাথে আমরা কথা বলবো। এবং if you are parents watching, please encourage your children to do good as well. Stay with us.